Yeah,
trying to catch up.
number change definitely has been a thing. I had went from 84 my freshman year, and then went from 12 to 1. Me and Coach Franks had to talk about that, just, making sure I stay on task with that number change and stuff going on.
Why the change from 12 to 1?
Really, I never had a single digit number in my life, kind of. So I was looking for that single digit number, and really when I changed to one, I seen an opportunity in that, and being number one sticks out. So living up to the opportunity.
Did you check that off with X though? Make sure he's cool.
Oh
Don't
yeah,
worry
yeah.
about yourself to lose it.
Had to check it out with X. Me and him, we gonna bond with that. We both got number one. A little talking about that going on in practice today.
What's your biggest leap from last summer to this summer? Just getting acquainted with everything.
Oh man, my biggest leap, I would definitely say understanding the playbook and just getting comfortable with being at the college level. I would say that was like the biggest jump I had to do, just understanding the pace of the game, why we do certain things for certain routes, and just being able to understand the collegiate level at a different level.
It was so much. It's always described as drinking through a fire hose. Is that what it felt like last year? Even if you're not getting a ton of on-field reps until
Yeah.
full prep, like is it just like every day? Like, jeez, like,
Man, yeah, definitely. For my freshman year, it was tough for me. I would just say, like, the main reason it was tough because, like you said, going through every day, knowing like you might not get a chance to play, but you're still being evaluated, and you got to help this on scout team and do this. So I would say like your freshman year is the biggest learning path you're gonna have, just because you need to learn like about yourself is like the most part. So I would say yeah, it's definitely like drinking through a fire hose. Like you just going to get it every day. Some days you're tired, but like, you just gotta fight through that.
is it such an adjustment mentally to going like you're putting all this work in high school Friday nights like the hard work shows.
Yeah.
You got to kind of sit in the shadows for a year and wait for your opportunities. That's just such a tough mental switch to flip.
Yeah, no, I would say, not being able to play football for a year definitely did something with me mentally, but I would definitely say made me mentally stronger. And, when I first started off, I didn't like it, obviously, being a star player in high school and coming back to just, being able to just have to work and work. So I would say, like, that switch definitely slowed my confidence down, but I understood that, like, everybody goes through that type of change. So once I understood that, I'm not the only one going through it, I got advice about it, it definitely helped me grow as a person. So I would say like it wasn't too bad after like my first month or two.
Coach Lester said on a podcast recently you were tearing up the scout team last fall. What did that look like? What does that look like?
Great. Shout out to scout team, the defense and stuff like that. But I say scout team was definitely the most fun I had my freshman year. Scout team is definitely like your learning path. Like people can see it as oh, like this sucks. Like I'm on scout team, I don't deserve to be here. But I took it differently. I seen it as like opportunity to get better with myself. So I wouldn't say I was tearing up the scout, the defensive team. But I would definitely say I was doing what I was supposed to. So definitely fun for last year. Making plays for sure. Yes,
That's tough to do against
a lot of big
team
plays.
defense.
Yeah, going against the top defense, that helped me a lot. When Castro, Jay Higgins, and X is still here, but all those great guys that was in the league now, they definitely helped me like with a lot. Like they told me they seen potential in me and what I need to work on. I took that like with a grain of salt and definitely understood what I need to do with that.
How was the trip to Texas with the guys?
Oh man, that was fun. I'm not gonna lie. It was really hot in Texas. I'd never been to Dallas before, so it was definitely enjoyed that. Being able to train with our buddies and grow that connection for this upcoming season. I really feel like we got something great coming up.
Is that something that Mark put together? I know he's worked with Christensen.
Yeah, Mark put that together. Yeah, definitely. He reached out to a couple guys saying he wanted to get a little session with Throw It Deep. I used to go to Throw It Deep when I was younger, but way back then. But yeah, so Mark set that up.
So you've known Jeff for a while then too?
Yeah, I know Jeff for a while. Yeah, I used to not train, but I used to catch footballs for his quarterbacks and stuff like that. So yeah, I used to train with him for a little bit when I was younger.
Did he give you any insight to Iowa during the recruiting process since Jake way back when was here?
No, he didn't give me too much. Because kind of when I was going there when I was younger, I was a little quiet kid, so I didn't speak too much to him. Say what's up to him every here and now and then. So yeah, that was really about it.
How's Mark been looking in all those first throws in 4 or 5 months where it's not a Nerf ball or anything like he can start letting it loose?
I say Mark's been looking really strong. He's definitely that confident quarterback. You can tell that he knows what he's doing. He's always looking to make improvement. So I say Mark has been looking really, really good. Like I feel like his biggest thing is he's able to communicate with all his receivers and the whole offense, and I feel like that's the very important part because being able to communicate with your guys and just letting you know like where I went wrong or where he went wrong is like very important. So I feel like he's definitely got that leader role in him too, and I feel like that's the most valuable part.
What's he like in the film? I don't know how much you've seen there, but he's a mechanical engineering guy. He
Yeah.
just feels like that's a dude who really gets into the details.
Yeah, I'd say he's a real detail guy. One thing Mark mentions a lot, like he wants everything to be very intentional. So I think him like telling us that like be intentional with your movement, be intentional when you come out here. Like every day is just not like, oh, I gotta get through this day. Like you gotta find a day to like how to get through those days and understand like what it means to get through those days. So I feel like he's very detailistic when it comes to stuff like that.
I knew you were still learning the playbook, obviously, last year, really piecing it together. But I mean, the entire room was, though, too, because,
Yeah.
Tim and everything. I guess, how have you kind of seen the wide receiver room? Have they just, does it feel like you're starting ahead of where you guys kind of were last year? At this
Oh,
time?
yes, sir. I feel like the receiver room made like a lot of improvement this year, and I feel like the improvement we made was coming together as a receiver room instead of like, I wouldn't say it was like more individual last year, but we're closer than we were last year. And I feel like that jump, we made a big jump for like the spring ball. I feel like we were going to be like, more passing offense, definitely, and I feel like a lot of stuff is going to come into play. So I feel like the receiver jump is very huge and very valuable, so we can have both.
How do you describe Coach Bud Meyer's coaching style? We've seen bits and pieces, but just kind of take us inside what's like to have a conversation with him, what's like to be on the field with him. And
Coach Bud Meyer is a really, really energetic type of coach, and I think I like that most about him because he is never like a boring day with him, and I feel like him as a coach individually, he knows what he's talking about. He always is looking for improvement every day. Every day we have like a new workout, something like we're working on something that most receivers struggle at, and I feel like that's like his best part. He sees what we need to get better at, what we need to do for it. And I would just say like Tanner Kruger, he's also a really good assistant coach. Yeah, so he helps out Bud a lot, and he's able to just be there for him and help him with certain drills that we do.
has it been pretty easy for you to kind of stick with the process? I know some guys when they're big playmakers in high school, at times there's kind of the mental adjustment. It's how much do you kind of trust the process and trust what the coaches have planned for you combined with your work, and how do you kind of manage that?
Right. I'm gonna say when I first did get here, I wasn't too well with the understanding, not playing and handling the process of not being able just to be out on the field. So I definitely say it was tougher for me, and I think going into that, like just trying to look at it and in a way to evaluate it, I didn't take it the best, to be honest. But I understand that this is a process, and everybody has to go through it. So when I had to understand that part and ask for advice like from the older kids, I think that's what helped me the most. And I think it is definitely like pressure being able to just like continue to learn the playbook, because I feel like I'm still learning at this point. But I definitely got a down pack with a lot of things. So definitely a lot that plays into it.